Good morning everybody, welcome back to Cilinix Crypto. Hope you're all doing great and welcome to this new video right here on Ethereum. We're going to do a full update on Ethereum right here. I'm quite excited to talk about Ethereum because ultimately it's been doing amazing, right? I mean, we spoke about that briefly yesterday, how Ethereum was actually holding up relatively well against Bitcoin. I would say that has continued. Look, if we just take a look at Ethereum right here, which this is the 4-hour time frame, you wouldn't say that there's a lot of momentum, but often momentum is also disguised in the form of outperformance, right? And what we've seen over the last 24 hours, but also right now, is that ETH is still very, very strong compared to Bitcoin. ETH BTC, which is this chart, is still holding the uptrend. We are at a massive resistance level, so this is something, and you can also see some sort of an old trend line. So that's something to be aware of. But as it stands right now, with all the data we have, which we'll talk about some other things throughout the video as well, I have to be bullish on Ethereum. I cannot justify being bearish on Ethereum right here. First of all, just to talk about the technicals. If you take a look at the 4-hour time frame, we're still holding the 7-day rolling VWAP. We're still holding the 200 EMA, even though we had quite a lot of selling pressure. Now, if we zoom in, if we zoom in a lot, what I think you'll see is that we are in some sort of a balance, right? So that basically since Monday or Sunday last week, we have formed some sort of a balance right here. But even there, you can see that there's been high volume bottoms, and we never lost that balance. And right now we're finding balance at the highs, right? So we did not have, like, if you take a look at XRP actually rallied, then broke down and found balance lower. But when a coin, not always, but when a coin finds balance at the highs, that's usually a good sign. We know that outperformance on the 4-hour time frame, 12-hour time frame, we're still bullish as well. 12-hour time frame, daily time frame, certainly. I mean, on the daily time frame, it's quite ridiculous, but XRP can drop down all the way to 2,800 and we would still be bullish. So that's interesting to know, I'd say. I do think, I mean, on the daily time frame, to get into a little bit of a tangent here, like all these imbalances, at some point of time, they will get filled, right? So be aware of that. And the outperformance of Ethereum right now does not mean that we will continue to be bullish the entire time, of course. But most of you know that. But still, I do want to, you know, sometimes when a coin is very bullish, it becomes very difficult to see what can happen in the matter of half a year, right? So you might say, well, I mean, Ethereum looks great. I mean, we're definitely going up to 4,500. I'm not saying that, but then it looks interesting to buy. But it's very possible that if we get bad news, we're going to get a drop into 3,200, which is, you know, all of a sudden you're in drawdown and the market structure has changed and it's not looking great. But okay, so everything at this point of time still looking great. Higher time frames, we also had a good breakout. And one of the other things that I wanted to speak about is the Ethereum ecosystem. Ethereum ecosystem is still doing absolutely amazing with coins like Athena, coins like ENS, Pendle over the course of the last couple of days, but also Curve doing great things, right? So everything at this point of time is looking great. At some point of time, everything is going to look great and we will still fall down. But for now, I would still say it's most likely that we're going to rally up higher. And when we're talking about price targets, I mean, conservatively, I would say like 4,000, 4,100. But I would not be surprised if we just, if everybody is expecting that and we just blow past that towards 42, 4,300. So those are my thoughts. I think that's what you need to know this beautiful Saturday morning. So if you do have any questions, let me know down in the comments. But for now, enjoy your weekend. Take care and bye.